Right. All right, Jody, CPU, Mekai. Quick, boy. Good to see you. All right. Let me see who is here. All right, so Jaden here. When's Ziri coming? He has an exam. Oh yeah. All right, Jolie here, Q&A here. What Khalifa today? What did I today? 8. I see Liam. Logan say he coming. What Marcus? The one I love page. Valentino. Right. Hey, Liam, afternoon. How you doing? Leon. All right, Suki. Yeah, I not reached too, boy. We're trying to decide what to work. You got some different opinions now. Somehow we settle on matrices. I'm sure how that happened. We go and do a few with the simultaneous the 2025 one. Yeah, man, CPU, good afternoon, Adrian. Sorry. Let's pull up my chat so I can actually see the chat this time. Right, Cheyenne Pope. Hey, Cheyenne. The new Pope or no? New Pope? New Pope? What's up, man? New Pope? Very popular. That's only the Pope I like 10 page. That's only if we have a new Pope, they vote on him. So he might be very well liked and be very popular. Yeah, well, you missed it by one day. You could have resurrected Jesus. Yo, guys, anything for tomorrow? Get a good night's sleep. Work with a calculator that you could use that works and probably a backup. Make sure you have enough pens, pencils, and other writing material. Learn to manage your emotions, stress, and anxiety. Right? I'm giving tips, for, not necessarily for maths itself, but generally, right? Because it's easy to become overwhelmed in an exam and forget to do things that you can do. I think that happened on Tuesday to a lot of people in the POA, and I do want you guys to what are you thinking will be on the exam tomorrow? I'm not sure, Tina, to be honest. I just try to be pleasantly surprised. I'm not overly disappointed. I'm curious. I've heard some rumors about them trying to make it harder. But again, it's just rumors. And to be honest, rumors like that spread every year. So it's not something about which you should be like too worried or surprised. And even if they quote unquote try to make it harder, what's our position? All we can do is study the maths, do past papers, and learn maths. That's basically it. There's nothing else we could do. So don't let people panic here. Don't give in to the hype. Did Fiona come back in yet? Moving on. All right, so you have a reverse distance on time. CPU, we actually did that a couple days ago. So check the YouTube for the lives. Distance speed time wasn't Wednesday. No, that was Tuesday. Yesterday was speed time? Okay, I checked the live yesterday. I feel like it was the day before, but okay, I could be mistaken. If circle theorem, vectors, and matrices come in. Yeah, true. Was my YouTube. Same thing, adapt tuition. Logan. Hey Logan, after how you doing? Yeah, don't worry, we haven't started yet. We're still kind of waiting on some settling to occur. All right. Hey, what's going on? That was your painting pants out? Oh, okay. Hey Shima, after how you doing? Come have a seat. No queue, not still outside? No, yeah. So like a close up shop. All right, guys, just give me 1 minute. Angry melon? What is it on fancy fonts, boy? All right. What? I'm not gonna ask how many things you order. Ah. Okay, okay. Hey, Kylie, how you doing? Kyle? Sorry, I thought you said Kylie, my bad. All right. Okay, glad to hear you greet. All right, folks. So we had some deliberations trying to decide what to do. The plan was to do some more measurement, but they said they want to switch up and revise some more topics. So they said they want to do some matrices, some simultaneous equations with matrices, right? So basically, we're going to just copy and paste the stuff as we go along. You're going to copy it down because there's not much to write down, right? So hopefully you have your books and your pens and your paper. So that's right, right? So this document has about 10 questions here, right? So we have 2007, 2019, 2017, 2015, right? Now, as when we do a few of them, it's gonna get real boring real fast. Yeah. It depends on this table here now, right? Yeah. So, yeah, we might do this for like the first hour. And then, yeah, my parents said they'll go for my son for me. So I have a little time to play with after 3. So between 3 and 4, we might go a little past 3 o'clock. Because I know we started late, so I don't want to shortchange all here. All right. Okay, so what I'll do is just as a bit of revision for those who may have forgotten how to do this particular topic. This was May 07. All right, so May 2007. All right, cool. So give me a sec. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, call them. You have a number for them? Yeah, call them. Yeah. What? Who? Okay, let me enlarge just so that easy to see, right? I'm sorry, it's actually Jan 07, so I had to change that. Okay, so we're looking to see how to solve simultaneous equations using matrices, right? So step 1 is to convert. No. Yeah. Convert to matrix format. Right. So what we have here is the coefficients and the constant. Right. So in the first case, we're going to pull out 2 and 5. Sorry, there it is. 2, 5, 3, 4. The algebra will go in the other matrix here. And then the solutions will go here. When I say solutions, right? You get through? You'll call you back. All right, cool. Hopefully you call you back or nothing. Right. So I'm Justin Francois. We're still in PPQ 2020. All right, cool. Right. So step 1 is convert the matrix format. Oh, and label the matrices. Okay, so you could call this A. This is by X, and this is B, right? Now, the next step I like to say is to write your statements, right? Now, this is proven to be somewhat optional. Higher or foundation, yeah, princess, not this is CSEC, CX Caribbean exams, not IGCSE, right? So I like to put statements. Yeah, not school, maths. I had maths. Yeah, I took a little break from the add maths here, right? So if A by X is equal to B, and you want to solve for B, what we have to do with the matrix method is you have to find the inverse of A and multiply it on both sides of the equation. A inverse by A will give us something called I, which is the identity matrix. Right? And then I by X will just give us back X. So long story short, what we need to do is find A inverse and multiply it by B. So let's find A inverse, shall we? For which one? For these? Like our 0.5? Yeah. Right. Oh, cupped over. All right. So to find A inverse, right? We got a little different color, right? All right, cool. So A inverse is equal to 1 over what we call the determinant of A multiplied by A adjoint. Nothing to do with weed. Right? So why didn't you do the stream on YouTube? I am on YouTube. I'm not sure how to pronounce your first name. Juan Rohoman, right? Mr. Rohoman. Right. Cool. Brain full tired right now. Well, go on sleep. Go on sleep. Right. How do we find the determinant of a matrix? A 2x2 matrix in this case, right? So what we have to do is we have to multiply the elements in what we call the lead diagonal. Whoops, how did that happen now? Okay. Right, so you have to multiply 2 by 4 and minus the product of the other two elements along the other diagonal. Right? Now the adjoint, you're going to swap the positions of the 4 and the 2, and the 5 and the 3 are going to change to the opposite sign of what they currently have. So in this case, they're both positive, so they'll both become negative. Right? It's not showing on YouTube. YouTube people, I see who I see on YouTube. Child in school, Suki, Justin, Francois, Vamp, Cheyenne. You're seeing the stuff on the screen? Because somebody on TikTok saying not showing. I seen it on mine. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna check my stream. My stream is on. It's running. The time is correct. Oh, you see it now? Okay, cool. No problems. All right, okay, so pull that back up. Pull my comments up. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's showing. Okay, cool. Thanks, Shiva. Right. Okay, so we're going in here. So 2 by 4 is what? 8. 5 by 3 is 15. Right, so what's going to happen? You're just going to get 1 over minus 7, or minus 1 over 7 by 4 minus 5 minus 3 and then 2. Right? All right, cool. Yeah, thanks very much. Doubles, thanks very much. Aisha. Thanks very much. Maths better be easy. I will rip that paper. Nah, don't do that. So this look different. From what, boy? All right, cool. So we have our A inverse. So all we have to do now, after you finish matrix, can you work either functions? All right, so they already asked for vectors. I kind of pulling for circle theorem in the next session. And the last thing, kind of do some graphs with like some completely square and different kind of things, right? So not sure about the functions. Circle theorem, I'll see if I can do that one, right? I actually want to do it. All right. Okay. Right. So yeah, okay, no problem. Right. Hope we pass one. In class, people, are we okay with the inverse? All right. Yeah. So we did. I mean, I know we did it quite some time ago, right? This back in September last year, right? So it's a little rusty, right? We would have revised at least a little bit, a bit earlier this year after we did. We finished the stuff in January. Sorry. in what order do you think we should answer the questions? In whatever order is the best order for you. But if you're not going in order of appearance, just make sure you don't leave out anything that you could do. Why is my mic on YouTube low? YouTube people, you're not hearing me? But I turned it down because I thought it was too loud. All right, I just turned it up there. So can you retell? All right, so just to recap real quick, right? So let me just what we're doing so far, right? So we have this pair of simultaneous equations that we have to solve for x and y, and we are asked to use a matrix method. The step one is to convert the equations into matrix format. What does that mean? It means you're going to pull the coefficients, the 2 and 5 on the top and the 3 and the 4 below, and put them in this matrix here, right? 2, 5 on top, 3 and 4 below. You're going to write here algebra, x and y, or a and b, whatever letters they give you, in a column matrix, and you're going to put that equal, right? And the solutions, you're going to put those solutions in their own column matrix, right? The statements are something I advise students to do, right? As in how we're going to solve for the unknown, right? Now, some people go straight from here to here. You could do that. You could do that, all right? So you could bypass these things in the middle here, right? If you're trying to save some time. Yeah, question. Right, when you multiply the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix by the original, you get something called the identity matrix, right? If I give you 2, and I ask you, what's the inverse of 2, right? You tell me, well, 1 over 2, right? So if I then take that inverse and multiply it by 2, what am I going to get? 1. If it was the additive inverse, yes, I get 0, right? But this is the multiplicative inverse, right? Yeah, the multiplicative inverse. Okay, check this, right? If I multiply by 2, how do I undo multiplication by 2? Division by 2. Now, dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by a half, right? So, dividing by 2 is the inverse of multiplying by 2. Dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by a half. So, and if 2 is the inverse of, if a half is the inverse of 2 only, okay, long story short, if it undoes what we just did, we call that inversion, right? So to invert doesn't just mean to flip something, it means to undo. Like when you have an app or you're on your laptop or your computer and you have like something open and you can have an undo button, that's what inverse means, at least in maths, right? So when you invert an operation, you undo it, right? So when I say multiplicative inverse, it's simply the inverse of the multiplication, which as we know is either division or multiplying by a half. Does that make a little more sense now? All right, cool, lovely. Sorry, Adiola, I didn't see a message, sorry. I am kind of low. What about now? It's good now? Hearing good. All right, guys, I'm gonna come back to the questions in a little bit, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so, Josiah, I'm not done, eh? So, A inverse by A is a matrix by its inverse. But when we do that, because in matrices we have no division, right? So, if we divide, like if we did 2 divided by 2, we get 1, right? 2 divided by 2 is the same as 2 multiplied by a half, we get 1. So the I is the matrix equivalent of 1, right? And if you multiply 1 by something, you get back the same something and multiply, right? So that's what the identity matrix is. The identity matrix is the matrix equivalent of multiplying by 1, right? And usually it appears like this, 1, 0, 0, 1. That look familiar? Right. Now that's the 2 by 2 identity. It have different ones as you go up in what do you call it? The order, right? Different orders. All right. So please just call me Jaden. All right. Jaden, no problem. Variance. Okay, that's something else to consider. We'll see. Right. So what we did is to find the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix, we use this particular sequence of events, right? We put 1 over the determinant. Now, it's called a determinant because it determines, yes, it is J.K. Cougar, it determines whether an inverse exists for the matrix or not, right? And then we multiply by the adjoint. The adjoint is simply a rearrangement, an adjustment of the elements in a matrix in a particular order, right? Now, let's come on our side here. Let me say we had if I were to try to find the determinant of this matrix, I'd have to multiply 2 by 6, and I'll minus what? 3 by 4, right? What's 2 by 6? 12. What's 3 by 4? 12 plus 12 minus 12. So if I were to put 1 over 0, could I work with that? No, 1 over 0 is undefined. Division by 0 is undefined. So if you have a matrix that has a determinant of 0, it has no inverse, right? We actually call those matrices singular matrices. Right? A singular matrix is a matrix with a determinant of 0. And if it has a determinant equal to 0, it cannot have an inverse, because if you plug 0 into this as the denominator, the whole thing falls apart because we cannot divide by 0. It is undefined. Right. Okay. So if we have a determinant equal to 0, right? I don't see Brian in the syllabus. No, I did. It's under the trigonometry section. I could guarantee that. Sorry. Yeah. Where was I? Okay. I'm gonna have to just take out that part in the purple, right? Give me 1 sec. Okay, so now what do we do with this inverse item here? Right, we're gonna go back into our other side here, right? So again, all we have to do is take the inverse and multiply it by the 6, 8, right? So we'll start here. So the matrix, the algebra matrix xy is equal to, right? So you could use minus 1 over 7. Now I like to leave the fraction on the outside until after I multiply the two matrices. Putting it on the inside gives you more work to do with fractions. Now, while I'm not fraction averse, it does add a dimension of difficulty to it that is not necessary. So just work with your whole numbers for now and bring fractions in at the very end so you could leave your life a little less complicated, right? Especially in the midst of an exam, and it might be the last question. Matrices. It's question 10 is the last question, and they couple vectors and matrices. Whether they bring the vectors first or the matrices first. Is that knock? Just have a seat anywhere. Right, we're just revising some matrices, some simultaneous equations, right? The 2023, Jojo. Here what, remind me. Let me just see if I have it on this PDF now. 29, come on, man. So 2019, 2017, 2015, 2014, 12. I have seen it, boy, Jojo. 2009, 2009 again. What that makes sense? Oh, all right. Just remember, Jojo, right? I'll see if I could organize that for you. JK Cougar, no, I didn't do it yet. I'll try to do it in the next session, but I can't guarantee. Okay, so we're here now. So now we're going to revise some matrix multiplication. So we're leaving the minus 1, 7 on the outside, right? So how do we multiply matrices? You have to multiply an entire row by an entire column, and you have to multiply the corresponding elements. What do I mean by that? This is the first element in the row. This is the first element in the column. So we are multiplying those two things, right? Whether you put it in brackets or you put an actual multiply sign, does not matter. And then we add in the next product, the product of the next two corresponding elements, minus 5 by 8. Cool, and now we go to the bottom row, minus 3 and 2 by 6 and 8, literally in that order. Minus 3 by 6 and 2 by 8. So minus 3 by 6 plus 2 by 8. Yeah. Okay. So some quick maths here. 4 by 6 is 24. Minus 5 by 8 is minus 40, right? So you have a plus minus 40. So I'm not going to 24 and 40. That's not 16. So hold on, just now. Did you write question? 2, 5, 3, and 4. 2, 5, 3, and 4. 4 minus 3. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking a little too far. Okay, minus 3 is minus 18. 18 is 16. Did I get the right determinant? 2 by 4 is 8. 5 by 3 is 15. 8 minus 15 is minus 7. Oh, okay. This is A little weird. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Oh, you're getting negatives. That, Kailana, that's just part of the process. That's just part of the process. When you're finding your adjoint, right? You take the original matrix, you swap the position of these two items, and the next two items, they take the opposite sign to whatever they had initially. So in this case, they were both positive. In the adjoint, they both therefore become negative. If one was positive, one was negative, then they take the opposite sign. Right? Constructions, Hannah, sorry, that's already gone. I can't really do it on my laptop anyway, I take it. So sorry, I can't do that. I'm gonna try to find a way that I could do it. I know there's a website or two. Everything right now? Oh, in Minecraft? Oh Lord. Yeah. I know there's a website you could use. My partner who's teach online does it. I just never check it out. Right. So 24 minus 40 is minus 16, and minus 18 plus 16 is minus 2. Yeah, so when you multiply now minus, all right, so I'll show this one long ways, right? So minus 1 over 7 by minus 16, right? And then minus 1 over 7 by minus 2. So minus by minus is a plus, right? So we're going to end up with a positive. So 1 by 16 is 16, and 7 by 1 is just 7. And then minus by minus is a plus again. So you're going to get positive 2 all over 7. Yeah, okay. Yes, but didn't you have minus 7 first? Why did you switch to minus 1? Right, okay. So 1 over minus 7 is the same as 1 divided by minus 7. And when you divide a positive by a negative, you can get back the final answer is just negative, right? So whether you put the minus sign by the 1 over the 7, the minus sign in front of the whole fraction, or 1 over minus 7, they all equal. They all mean the same exact thing. All right, Chanel. So hope that helps. Right? So that's Chanel. Just Elizabeth, right? So when you switch 3 and 3, 5 is going to always be right. No. So, okay, so Chanel, whatever sign they had originally, they take the opposite sign. All right. So if they were positive, they become negative. If they were negative, they become positive. If one was positive, one was negative, then they just switch. All right. Okay, cool. Right. So yeah. So this question was a little weird in terms of the final answer, but here's my question: are you all okay with it? Process-wise, any questions? Anybody? Anything? All right. Cool. All right. Liam, Logan, and Mikkel, if you guys are good with that, just kind of give me a quick Genie chat, please and thanks. Right. If you need me to re-explain any particular aspect, give me an R, or just unmute and say, "Hey, Chris, this part, I know what you do there, or why you do it." Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So here we go. Yo. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Was that sorry? Oh, okay. You might have inside this room or no? If you go inside this room, all the way to the end, have a table. Yeah, you good? All right. Troublesome twins. Youngster star. All right. Okay. Page here. Oh, sorry. This page here. Right. Okay. Hold on. This is May 2017. Right. Cool. So let's label it May 2017. Right. All right, guys. Okay, so let's give you guys a few minutes, right? So again, what's the process? Convert the matrix form, as in pull out the coefficients in a 2 by 2 matrix, put the x and y in a column matrix, and then put that product equal to 1, well, 1, 5, in the next column. Sorry, the microphone was just kind of jumping. Go on that. Right, cool. Hey, people yourself. Right, cool. Tired, we're going on sad afternoon. What were 110 on YouTube and 374 views? Okay, cool. And 66 early on TikTok. All right. Let me see if we get other people now. Okay, so I'd put that Josiah is here and Shamor is here. Josiah, somebody on the live after you all left yesterday asked if you were a student. So the name was a young lady. I can't remember. All right, and Javier is here too. Cool. And Marcus. Right, cool. What boy? You almost full to brim? All right. So in step one, when you convert the matrices, what would the first matrix be, guys? 3, 2, 5, 4. And then you have x, y. And then that's equal to 1, 5, right? Okay, cool. Right. So you get 2 and 2 over 7. And just plain old 2 over 7. Let me see. Yeah, I think, yeah, 2 and 2 over 7. And just plain old 2 over CPU. That's correct, yeah. Right. And of course, we'll label it A multiplied by X is equal to B, right? Statements wise. So let's keep it short, right? So if A by X was equal to B, to solve for X, what we have to do is multiply A inverse by B, right? So our mission now becomes to find that A inverse. All right, so I'll just write A here. So A, yeah? We have to find the determinant to find the inverse. Sorry. Right, so to find A inverse, we have to put 1 over what we call the determinant of A and multiply that by A adjoint. So I think what you were referring to was the adjoint, right? Right, so with the adjoint, what you do is you swap the positions of, yeah, so A and D, right? So you put your 4 here and your 3 here. And the other two items take the opposite sign to what they initially had. So if 2 was positive, it become negative. And if 5 was positive, 2 would become negative. Uh-huh. Oh, you mean it's a regular simultaneous? All right. Okay, cool. Right, so since we're going to about 3:15, but we started 1:30. I don't want to go for shadow parents going film. So yeah, so we could get back in time. Although these half an hour breaks not really working out that well. Sorry, Elizabeth. We have a pope, guys. Couldn't be a woman. Nope. Habemus papum. Cardinals gathered in the Vatican Sistine Chapel have elected Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost as the 206th Pope. He took the name Pope Leo XIV. Me? Uh-huh. Me? To be a Pope? That is I don't even know, no? Huh? Why is my mother sending me this? Go over? Over what? We ain't really doing anything yet. Just now. Have you seen the Pope lately? Oh. Like a Pope. A old white man with a bald head. Gray hair. Yeah. 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 You're looking Indian. What Pope you seeing? Just now. Okay, just now. Look, this. Okay. All right. Go over. Let me see how I could go over. Right. So, first things first, what we do is we end up with a pair of linear equations, right? To convert the matrix form, you're just pulling out the coefficients and putting them in their own 2 by 2 matrix, right? Then you're pulling out the algebra, the x and the y, you're putting them in a row matrix. And then the solutions on the opposite side, you're putting them in their own row matrix, right? Now, I like to label my matrices so I can make my statements. So if this matrix is A, this is X, and this is B. So A multiplied by X equal to B, right? Now, there are two other lines I put in the middle here. But long story short, to solve for X, we have to multiply A inverse by B. Now, the task becomes finding A inverse. To find A inverse, we have to put 1 over the determinant by the adjoint. All right? What is the determinant? Okay, to find the determinant, you have to multiply the two elements on the Lie diagonal, so 3 by 4, and minus the product of the two elements on the next diagonal, which is 2 by 5. 3 by 4 is 12, 2 by 5 is 10. Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's see. Right, so here now, we'll end up with what? 1 over 2, then multiplied by 4, minus 2, minus 5, 3. All right, let's become housewife and done. Minus 3 and 5. All right, there we go. All right, cool. All right, y'all got that for the inverse? Okay, so the last step now is to solve for the algebraic values, right? Find our rich partner. Right, so we have a nice easy fraction there as a half. Not sure how much easier it could get. Right, and multiply by 1, 1 and 5, right? Okay, cool. So again, row by column. Yeah? Come on. I just like working with the numbers or the in the whole numbers. I leave fractions for last. It don't matter. If you put the fraction in first, you get the same answer. Yeah. Right, so 4 by 1, and then of course you have minus 2 by 5, right? So plus minus 2, then multiply by 5. Sorry, YouTube. I check all about it, right? Chris, you have any Bearings videos? If you check, you might find from January. I see. Aisha, sorry, Aisha, what? I didn't see. You didn't see it, you come back. All right, cool. How was it 1 over 20 hours? So that's 2 is the determinant. Because that's the process. 1 over the determinant, Jerry. Right. 2 is the denominator. That's correct, yeah. Right, and now we're doing the second row by the second column. So we have minus 5 by 1, and then 3 by 5. Right, so let's zoom in a little bit, yeah? Right, so 4 by 1 is 4. Minus 2 by 5 is minus 10. So if you plus or minus, you just minus it, right? Minus 5 by 1 is minus 5. 3 by 5 is 15. 4 minus 10 is minus 6. Minus 5 plus 15 is 10. And it's a half of each, right? So you have a half by minus 6 and a half by 10. Yeah, so you guys who got minus 3 and 5, you're very correct. Right? So when it comes down to it, the matrix xy is equal to the matrix minus 3, 5, sorry, which means that x is equal to minus 3 and y is equal to 5. Right, made a mistake. It happens. Don't worry about it, City Kid Junior. Right, it's always 1 over the determinant, Jerry. That's correct. All right, Liam, Logan, and Mikhail, if you guys are good with that, just kind of give me a quick Genie chat. All right. Elizabeth, we're going on. Is it Elizabeth or Eliza? All right, cool. Thanks, guys. All right, in class, people, we okay on that one? All right, circle theorem. I'll see if I can do that in the next class, right? Most of them said they did it here already, so they don't want to go over it, but yeah. 5. Minimum 4. Especially if it's a full simultaneous, 5 marks. You'd hardly get more than that. 3 by 3. I don't think it's syllabus. For in terms of like inverse, that 3 by 3 inverse is on the Cape math syllabus, pure maths. Yeah, like row reduction or elementary row techniques, something like that. Very elementary row operations. Oh. You also for CSEC. No, 3 by 3 3 by 3 matrix is there, but not with simultaneous, not inverse and that kind of stuff. Which syllabus you did? Right, Joshua. Right. I see. Yeah, I see. Check my January replays, January lives on YouTube. What if I just show up to the inverse and I just do the simultaneous? You get marks what you have on the paper, Joshua, so always bear that in mind. A very low still? Right, I can't go too high because it's gonna cause an echo on the replay. So I don't know, maybe it's just something with the internet. I don't know. I'm not sure. 4 by 4 matrix. I know what your teacher is doing, but that's not a CSEC maths thing. Like inverse, simultaneous with 4 by 4. Ah. Yo. Yeah. Daniel what? Deserve. Right. Happy birthday to Daniel. Day before the maths exam, boy. All right. Well, they get a present tomorrow. All right. Okay. In class, people, are we okay with the solution for the 2017 question? Any questions? Anybody? Anything? Good? All right, cool. Right. So I think Logan and Michael gave me a G just now. Yeah, that's fine. All right, lovely. Okay, so we're going again. Let me go back to this document here. 3, 2, 5, and 4. 3, 2. Isn't the same numbers? 3, 2, 5, and 4. And this one is. Would you go 3, 2, 5, and 4 with different values? I feel like if we do this, we'll do the same question because look, this one was what? 3, 2, 5, and 4 on the left-hand side. And then on the next page is also 3, 2, 5, and 4 here. All right, so let's not repeat the same question basically, right? I know it's different ending values, right? Okay, so this one's a little more in line, right? Let me go. Sorry, no, I can't put it down, right? Okay. I didn't forget the request for the 2023. I forget who asked me. Yeah. Real bad man. What else? Yeah. Real bad man. What, just so? Sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah, we could talk about that one. Yeah, so for the first part here, the matrix M is defined as 7, 2, and then Pn minus 1. Determine the value of P for which the matrix M does not have an inverse. So if it doesn't have an inverse, the determinant is equal to 0. So yeah, so you do 7 by minus 1 minus 2 by P, put it equal to 0 and solve. Right? Okay, 4 minus 2, 2x. 3.5, I think. Or minus 3.5, one of them. Right, okay. Let me just check and see what year this is again. Sorry, 2014 May. All right, cool. All right, after this, I think you could switch up a little bit after this. All right, cool. All right. So I'll give you a few minutes head start and then go from there, right? Cool. Right. While that, let me just check and see what's going on here. Very low. Hey, it's Olivia. Okay. How that even possible? Daniel, yeah, man. Right, happy with it. Cool. So if you get like field paper 2, 45, 61. Raj. I don't know. Right, G. Um, Matrix, yeah, matrices. Elizabeth, not CX. This topic sense. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to know how to find the order of a matrix, and I mean, you could. I don't know. We're going to do it a 4x4 in CXE maths. So linear program. I do that already, yo. Sorry, Lily. Check on my lives. Check on my YouTube channel. Check the lives from January or so. You should see it there. Hopefully at 2 when we open portal. Yeah. Uh JVRDXN. Apache about 4 o'clock. Yeah, well, Jaden, not sorry, not you. Ruhuman. That one, I don't know why they make it do that. Your teachers clearly like maths real plenty, which is cool. But I mean, unless they finish the whole syllabus and you all know it inside out, doing that is just very unnecessary. Sure, sure. Yeah, 2023. After this question, I'll do that one, right? First part of the question. All right, cool. Right. So the first step here is to do what? Write it in matrix form. So we're going to pull the coefficients in a 2 by 2 matrix, right? So that's 4 minus 2 in the top, and 2 and 3 here, right? Then we're going to put the algebraic values, algebraic terms there, sorry, not values. And then you put the 0 and the 4 there. Right? So of course, again, I like to label my matrices so I could then write my statements. Right? So if A multiplied by X is equal to B, then X would be equal to the inverse of A, or A inverse by B. So now our task becomes finding for for A inverse, my bad. Right? And for A inverse, that's equal to 1 over the determinant of A multiplied by A adjoint. Right, so I'll give you a few minutes again. A half and 1. All right, cool. Emily, yeah, I believe that is correct. MRS, Mrs. That's 2014. Me? Real bad man. Right. Right, so the determinant is the product of these two elements minus the product of these two elements. Right, so it's 1 over 4 by 3 minus 2 by 2. And for the adjoint, you swap these two. The 3 and the 4 swap. And the minus 2 and the 2, well, take the opposite sign to what they originally had. All right, so 4 by 3 is 12, right? And when you're minus 4, you end up adding it. And 12 plus 4 is 16. So we have 1 over 16. Then by 3, 2, minus 2, 4. How do I get this negative 2? Because the protocol, when you're finding an adjoint, is for the numbers on this diagonal, whatever sign they have, you take the opposite sign in the adjoint. So if it was negative in the original, it becomes positive in the adjoint. If it was positive in the original, it becomes negative in the adjoint. That's just the rule. When you're going from the original to the adjoint, the what here? That's the question, right? CPU vibes. Mekai. Okay, this live might finish in about an hour. Leave it to master tire out a human being more physical labor. Mental work is tough work, you know, Siren. Like, people, yeah. All right, cool. You can't figure out why? All right. So good. Finally, all right, cool. Right. Where was I? Yeah, right. So we could leave the inverse like this. We don't have to bring in the scalar, the 1 over 6 on the out. We don't have to bring it in just yet. Right? So 3, 2 minus 2, 4. Okay, but now we have to multiply by b, which is just 0, 4. Right, so x, sorry, the matrix x is a 2 by 1, which is xy, is equal to the same A inverse that we just found. Multiplied by the matrix B, which has elements 0 and 4. Okay, so the 1 over the 16 kind of stays on the outside, so we multiply the entire row by the entire column. All right, so it's 3 by 0 plus 2 by 4. And then we do the bottom row. So this whole matrix by this item here. So we have minus 2 by 0 plus 4 by 4. Anything by 0 is 0. 2 by 4 is 8. Sorry guys, I'm fighting asleep here. It creeping up on real bad. Okay, so again, we'll have the 1 over 16 by 0 and 8 is just 8. 0 and 16 is 16. Right? So now, of course, what we do is you have to multiply the 1 over the determinant by each of the elements individually. That's correct. 1 over 16 by 8 is the same as 8 divided by 16, which is a half. Wow, guys, sorry. And then 16 into 16 goes one time. So therefore, x is a half, but y is equal to 1. Hey guys, correct. Good. And the worst Chocho. Yeah, Chocho. I feel like it running out, boy. Not as if I started to drink plenty. Like I started off with a tall in Starbucks and went to a grand ladies that don't have venti. I didn't have this morning though, that's the problem. But yeah. All right. Ladies and gents in class, are we okay with this one? Okay, so here what we're gonna do. Let's give me one second. I'm gonna take a little browse at the rest of the questions. All right, I'm gonna give you one more like this. Sorry, can you explain the 8 over 1 and the 16 over 1 part? Right, so I'm multiplying this by that. So you don't have to put it over 1. You can just put 8 if you want. That's perfectly fine. But any integer or whole number can also simply be written as 16 over 1 or over 1. Because if you divide 8 by 1, you're just going to get back 8. So you could do that just to kind of line up the fractions, right? Numerators with numerators and then denominators with denominators. You could. You don't have to, but you could. All right. No, I don't. That's why I'm going back to the thing so you could tell me. Yeah. Okay. You're multiplying this by that. And it has to be that this is in front. Right? Well, as a matter, if it's the proper inverse, it wouldn't matter though. That's called the identity matrix. It's the matrix equivalent of multiplying by 1. It leaves the if you multiply by a next matrix, you're just going to get back that matrix. Right? 2000, that's fed up. All right, let me see. Let's see. All right. Which one y'all want? Y'all want the 09 Jan or the 09 me? This is the Jan, and this is the me. You want the me? All right. Okay. All right. So if you leave it as a decimal, is it correct? Yes, it is correct. Just don't round off too heavily, right? If it was like a quarter, then put 0.25. Don't round it up to 0.3. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So yeah, you're just solving this pair of equations simultaneously using a matrix method. I just to take a little walk and wake up myself and get some more water and thing. Right. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, if so long. Right. Yeah. Me. Okay. Cross multiply. Not exactly. You want to? All right. Get them at 5 now. Get them at 5 and you can come and do it. Cool. Yeah. No problems. Yeah, if it's wrong, we fix it. It's a loose stakes if it's wrong. Yeah, so if no number is explicit in front, one is minus one actually. Okay, so 5. So let's see if I can. Right, so we did do it for the enjoy. Switch the position of these two. 5 goes there, 3 goes there. Other two, switch this signs. Not between each other, you see. That's the fine PCD. That's the issue. Half of the inputs is you have to find the same 3 and 5 and multiply those. So like, yeah, 3 by 5 is 15. Minus 1 by 2 is minus 15 minus 2. No, it's the 5 diamond pickaxe in my hand. I have a diamond pickaxe, right? I don't get that. I don't grind it. I've been grinding. I've been grinding. It's joking. My face has said you. Why are you so big? Thinking about the house, she had 5 kids. Yeah, I see that. It's anything. I tell you on Instagram. I do that when they say I die.
Google Meet, I'm sorry, we're kind of playing Minecraft.
Daniel, Zero, yeah, it'd be good for maths. Everybody is good for maths. You get that one.
Okay, wait. Y'all, are y'all done? Sorry, y'all, are y'all done? Are y'all done? Can I get a yes? Can I get a no so I can stop? Oh yeah, G in the chat. Guys, G in the chat if y'all are done, please.
Yeah. After maths tomorrow, catch me on court. Rank.
No, y'all aren't done? Okay, okay. Sir is not, sir is still teaching. Y'all, shut up. Sir is, wait. Y'all, sir is still teaching, but he went to go and get water. So, we're kind of doing something. But, I'm not muted yet. But we're kind of doing something right now. So, I'm kind of helping out Chris right now. We did not kidnap, sir. Are y'all done? Are y'all done? Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, guys. So first, Chris said I can do it. So first, I don't know how to get the pen. Y'all, how do I get the colors? Yeah, guys, Sir transformed. Wait. Yeah, guys, Sir transformed. Cheeks, you good at computers and laptops and shit? Can you come a sec? I don't know how to get the pen to write. I don't know how to get this to how to get the pen. Wait. No, it's not working. Help. Come. No, the pen is on. I just don't know how to find the writing stuff. Yeah. How do I find the writing stuff? The writing stuff. Chris is back, guys. Oh, you do it here? Okay, where's the next question?
Press add page on top left.
Add page. Hello?
Right. Now I wanted to go to insert.
Insert.
Go to screen clipping. Oh, no,
Oh, screen clipping.
right. Basically, you're gonna take the tip, start there, right, and copy that here.
Oh. Okay. And then I could just write?
Yeah. I would go pen, select the pen.
Okay. Okay, guys. We're gonna do this. Well, give me a color. Somebody give me a color. Sir's right here. Somebody give me a color. We're in Trinidad. Somebody give me a color.
I just go pink, green, blue.
Okay, we're going purple. So start off matrices, what we do, right, is we go and we take it like that. And then we have 3. Y is 1, right? Minus 1. 2, 5, right? And then we have X and Y equals 5 and 9. Okay? So now we want to find the adjoint, okay? So the adjoint is... Oh no, sorry. Wait, well, how do I erase? Do I do that? Oh, I figured it out. Okay. So the G is... The adjoint is the 1 over 3, 5 minus 1, 2. Right?
Minus 2 by 5 minus 2. Yeah, yeah. And then the adjoint is 1.
Oh, that was the determinant?
That's the determinant, yeah.
5,
Well, that's 1,
3, 1, minus 2.
Right.
3 by 5 is 15 minus... What is minus 1 by 2? Minus 1. 2.
By 2 is minus 2.
Minus 2, right? Y'all ignore my handwriting, okay? Can y'all see? That's the determinant. Okay, right. So can y'all see? So then... Right, so we start here, right? Now what we're gonna... Page confusing it, lol, haha, I almost forget. Y'all, I'm trying, okay? So, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna multiply this by that. Yeah.
When you minus 2 becomes...
Plus 2.
15 plus 2 is
17. Thanks, guys.
Chris, I can't remember Edward.
Me? She said she wanted to go and do it. I said, okay, go ahead. I got anybody want to do our next one? No problem. Alright, cool. We'll see.
Nyla, this is correct so far, right? This is the multiplication sign, correct?
5, 1. What I would suggest is show these 2 things in multiplying.
That's why I put the arrow.
Go to the top menu. Can I lasso select? Yeah. So I want you to lasso this, and then circle it, right? Put it down a couple of lines. Right, I did it. So the middle here, I want you to put 1/7. So I want to put open brackets x, y. No, go back to up here. Go back up here now.
Wait, why is the lasso thing still on?
No, because it didn't see that depending on.
Hello?
Yeah, that's after the last. It's not as nice as your laptop.
Purple. Sorry.
Right. So you're gonna go here, but in the brackets x, y. Brackets equals. Right. Now you're putting the 1/17
Right.
and the matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the back of the pen is only one particular corner. I'm not sure what I don't mark it also.
Eda?
Sorry. Right, good. So now the next line, don't forget the 1/17 in front. Right? Guys, this is a 5 by 5 plus 1 by 9 minus 2 by 5 plus 3 by 5. So now put the page up.
5 by 5 is 25. Minus 2 by 5 is positive, negative
2 by 5 is what?
10. Plus 9. 3 by 9 is 27. 27. 25 plus 9 is 34.
Correct, very good.
34. Minus 10 by 27 is 17.
Yeah.
So which equals, I'm taking Chris's calculator. Equals.
Right, so you put in 1/17 by 34. And then 1/17 by 17. Right, so 1/17 by 17. Just close the bracket in 17. Right, 1/17 by this is 1. And by 17 is 2.
So then we have, therefore, x, y, 2, 1. So then when we see this, right, we see that this, wait, that and that, which equals x equals 2, y equals 1. I have these iPhones. Yay! That's a great one.
Take a little time. Right, lock in, bro. Right, that's the answer. There you go. Right, good. 80 by minus BC. Jordan, right? At Emily. Right, there you go. Good job. Me? No, I was back a little while now. I didn't have a helping page. Right. 1 second, huh?
Well, if y'all blow up my house, you'll fix it.
All right. We're still located doing this right now. Trinidad, they go Martin. You're gonna cry. I show up. Why you wanna cry? Go on, talk to me. Yeah, youngster. Better than mine for sure. 1/17 my numbers in the brackets. That's correct. Yes, Jordan. Yep. Okay, cool. So one more. All right. You want a screenshot? Yeah. All right, Elizabeth. Organize a screenshot. Let me know when you get right. Bye bye. Right. Yeah, one more. We'll do one more, and then we'll switch up a little bit, right? To the 2023. That Chocho wanted 2023. All right, cool. No problems. All right. So this was the what? This was the 2009. 2009 May. Oh, by the way, the Pope is an American. No, he was from Argentina. And then Ratzinger before him was from Germany. He took over from John Paul JP2, and he was Polish. And before that, it was like Italian for a good while. Yeah, I don't think there's been an American poop ever. All right. Okay. All right. Let me see. But hold on. Before I do one more of this, I'm gonna just check out the 2023 question that Chocho asked about. Because Chocho asked about it for a little while. All right. 2023, not one, not two, but three. Chocho is May or January? Right. Oh, Logan and Liam and Mikhail, if you guys are good with that, what we just did, sorry, a page, yeah, anyhow. Yeah, if you guys give it that last one she just did, give me a quick gene chat now. Please and thanks. Right, cool. There you go. Lindsay, right, right, yes, that's good. Right, Pope you choose, yeah. But the Pope is what? Right, Bishop of Rome. All right. I hit over the copy and paste. Yeah. All right. Me? All right, cool. So I didn't see set paper one after. All right. Certificate junior. So the paper ones will start a little further down. Let me show you, right? Because right after maths, we will enter add maths mode. So the add maths mode is green, right? So tomorrow is the exam, right? And we done here already. So we have 2 more sessions today, right? So we add maths in it up until must be about Wednesday, right? Because add maths is Thursday. Right after that, back to PUA paper 1 because PUA paper 1 is a Tuesday. After that, I have a little break because the add maths starting. The add maths paper 1 is before, but I'm gonna hand over the add maths to Mishka, right? So what I might do is I might start some maths paper 1s that same weekend because as you can see, maths kind of is the last thing. The day before is English. We have GU and TD here, and then add maths and bio here, right? Right, that's a week from Tuesday. We're not far from it, right? So yeah, so we had to see how that one going. So yeah, so right after maths tomorrow, we in add maths mode for a little while. That'll just continue until Wednesday. Yeah, and then right after that, before they want to come from the Thursday or the Friday, we hitting up some PUA. I know some of you have anybody who are Chem? 1, 2, 3. All right. Who are history? 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. All right, so what we will do, I might have to shift these classes earlier because I have some phone calls coming back. But again, we could always discuss because if all you have Chem and history on this day, obviously I don't expect to see you the day before, right? Or on the day itself because obviously you can't come, right? But we'll definitely have from the weekend, the Saturday and the Sunday. But I know that might be tough too because we have bio and IT on the same day and then econ paper 2 on the same day as PUA paper 1. Yeah, Elizabeth, yeah. Shakim add maths. No POB, nah boy. I just had too much things to do anything else right now, boy. And on top of that, Suki, I had to bring back my phone calls. Otherwise, I could be like not making any money. And I had 2 children and now I have to feed. 3 children and now I have to feed. Sorry. What's that? Oh, for IT? They want IT? I had my partner. Oh, no, I'm a friend who's been working with me for like a while now who does IT. Right? No, that's Dwayne. You all never met Dwayne. He worked here up until the pandemic started. Then, well, yeah, he married his wife. Then I married mine, and I think Sheldon, this is brother, married his wife too. So we each got married in that year, and then he moved up Chagonas, Sheldon moved up Champlain. So it's only me and what's name? Stefan down on this side. KB, what going on? Who crying? Who crying and why? Elizabeth, yeah, sorry. It's you. Who's you? Oh, that's you? Oh, okay. Hey, sir. All right, cool. All right. Sorel, I'm gonna see if I can do that. Sorry, what am I doing? 2023 me. I guess sidetracked our question. I guess sidetracked a little too easy these days, boy. And I stay on this. I don't come back on the main. Are you talking about the transformation matrix, Chocho? Zane, you on TikTok too? The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church, Chocho. Have 1.5 billion Catholics out of like 8 million people. 8 billion, sorry. So, CPU, not exactly. The transformations. It's supposed to be, but I know Islam was like the fastest growing one, so they said, but I don't know. I don't know any numbers on everything. Okay. So the matrices A and B represent transformations. Okay, cool. Determine the elements of a matrix C, which represents the anti-clockwise rotation followed by the reflection. Right. So what you would do there is you would do B by A. All right. So will I be doing a full pass? The time for that gone, boy. I was doing full pass papers earlier, Sean, like in February. So, and then the class wanted to switch the topics. So that's what we did. And we stuck with the topics until up to now. So yeah. But you could probably find the full past papers on the channel. Just look for like lives from February, March, thereabouts. All right. All right. All right, guys. I'm just going to kind of walk through this one for you all, right? So we didn't really get to touch on matrices of transformation, which is not necessarily a good thing. All right. You know that thing to thing? I did not know. I didn't know that, boy. Yeah, that thing it too? All right, cool. All right, guys. So just watch my screen here for a second, right? So the matrices of transformation, I as we're doing vectors? We're doing vectors? All right, we'll see. I think I was supposed to do vectors in this session too. Anyhow. Yeah, we have 2 more, but people asking for circle theorem too. I know. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so we can try and do the vectors. And the last session is graphs, you said tonight? All right. Yeah. So transformation matrix we want. Yeah, we just touching on it briefly, right? But I likely Shakim, I had to talk to my assistant to see what she's doing. I'm not 100% sure. I'll see what I can do. All right. Okay, cool. Right. Determine the elements. Okay, so if they give you right, so the matrices A and B represent transformation. So this is 0, -1. No, that's not what I wanted at all. All right, 0, -1, 1, 0 represents an anti-clockwise rotation of 90 degrees about the origin, and 0, -1, -1, 0 represents a reflection in straight line y equal to minus. Okay, cool. Determine the elements of the matrix C, which represents an anti-clockwise rotation of 90, followed by a reflection. Okay, so if you want to do A then B, the order of the multiplication is B by A. Because what would happen is, whatever the coordinates you'll be multiplying by, you have to do this transformation first. So you'd multiply by that first, and then you multiply by the B after, right? So to find C, right, you're going kind of going like right to left in terms of the sequencing, right? Like A then B. But again, the letter names don't matter, right? Bearings. We do bearings already, but Velux. Or Velux, I don't know. Yeah. 0, -1, -1, 0. And then 0, -1, 1, 0. So repeat, please. Okay, yeah. So if you're doing the transforming with A first followed by B, but you want to combine them into a single matrix, right? You have to do B by A. Because what would happen is you'd multiply this matrix by the coordinates first, because you're doing that one first, and then multiply this one after, right? So you're kind of stacking them. You're stacking the transformations like from the right, go back to the left. So this one happened first, this happened second, and if there was a third transformation, that would happen, well, it would be kind of in front of the B, right? Okay, so let's multiply this quick and see what else we could do before the time is out for this session, right? So 0, -1 by 0, 1. So 0 by 0 is 0, minus 1 by 1 is minus 1. This row by this column, well, that's all 0. So because it's 0 by the minus 1 and the minus 1 by 0. Yo. All right, this by that, well, right, again, minus 1 by 0 and then 0 by 1. Anything by 0 is 0. The last one, minus 1 by minus 1 and 0 by 0 as a 1 plus a 0. So you're going to get minus 1, 0, and 0 and 1. And for those who know, that's actually a reflection in the y-axis. But anti-clockwise rotation and then a reflection line y equal to minus x. I'm going to double check that because that seems weird. That's minus 1. That's 0. That's 0. That's 1. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Miss Pretty, don't worry. For this to make sense to anybody, you have to kind of be immersed in the transformations thing. So this was just to answer a question somebody asked me a little while ago, so I wanted to do it for them, right? Sorry, Nicholas. Yes, you're doing it backwards to get the combination, not the original per se, but maybe we're just arguing semantics on that. Yeah, I see. Yes, reflection. You can do transformations with matrices, yes. In paper, what we trust Enigma say, right? How to multiply the matrices. All right, cool. Right, yeah, guys. So yeah, that was just to help somebody who had a specific request. So hold on. Do I have any more there? A transformation is defined by the following 2 by 2. Okay, let's do this one too. Why not? Part 2. Right, a transformation T is defined by the following matrix. 1, 2, K, and minus 1 where K is a constant. T maps this point onto 8, 15. Determine the value of K. Okay, so check this, right? For this one, this is the transformation matrix, and it maps this point onto that point. What that means is you would have taken the transformation matrix of 1, 2, K, and minus 1, and you would have multiplied it by 2, 3, the original point, in order to get 8 and 15, right? So it kind of looks like a setup for the simultaneous. Is it always done backwards? If you have multiple transformations, yes. Right? Row by column, that's correct. Don't understand. Yeah. Ariel, my channel has a matrices tutorials playlist from scratch. Go and check it out. All right, if that's what you need to do. Right, so when we multiply these, the items on the left-hand side, we get the values on the right-hand side. So let's go. So row by column, right? So you have to multiply the first element in the row by the first element in the column, and then the second element in the row by the second element in the column. So we'll get 1 by 2 plus 2 by 3. And now for the bottom row, again, we multiply the entire row by the entire column, and then multiply what we call corresponding elements. So the first element in the row by the first element in the column, and then the second element in the row by the second element in the column. So we have K by 2 plus minus 1 by 3. Okay. 1 by 2 is 2, 2 by 3 is 6. 2 by K is 2K, and minus 1 by 3 is minus 3. Okay, so when we add 2 and 6, what do we get? We get 8. And then we have, well, we can't really simplify or do anything with 2K minus 3 except just to kind of rewrite it. Right, so look, do these two elements match up? Is it all some FOIL method or something? No, it's not really FOIL. It's matrix multiplication of integer. Again, if you don't understand that, go on my channel and look for the matrices playlist and find the multiplication. It's a very weird and unintuitive method. Oh, let's take a look. Yeah, I think it is, right? So if 8 matches with 8, then 2k minus 3 has to be equal to 15. So if 2k minus 3 is equal to 15, right? To solve for k, the first thing we do is move the 3. How is the 3 attached on the left-hand side? By subtraction. To remove something attached by subtraction, we use opposite operation, which is addition. And whatever happens on one side of an equation must happen on the next side. So minus 3 plus 3 will cancel to 0, leaving us with 2k, and 15 plus 3 is 18. Now, to solve for k, we just have to remove the 2. How is the 2 attached? What operation? Multiplication. To remove something attached by multiplication, we use the opposite operation, which is division. So to remove that 2, we divide. And whatever happens on one side of an equation must also happen on the other side of the equation, right? So 2k divided by 2 is k, 18 divided by 2 is 9. That is it. Hold on, they asked you the value of k. Right? Okay. Zane, right. Add 3, not subtract 3. Yeah. Well, technically, Zane, you can minus the minus 3. When you minus minus, it becomes plus, right? So if you want to remove something attached like that, you can just subtract it. Yeah, man, Chocho. IDK.com, boy. All right. That was the May 2023 matrix question. Oh, sorry. Second, I him moving on there. With the new pope. New pope? New pope? Right. Sean. Oh, I like that sticker. Light with no reaction. I wanted to discover yesterday. I know it's not me alone, PUA beats. Nah, Suki, it's not you alone. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You good? Okay, thank you. Hold on. Was I in a folder? What come last year in matrices? Let's take a look. Evaluate each of the matrix products. Yeah, nothing too great. What about the 2025 Jan? Okay. Okay, there guys. All right, so guys, here what? We're gonna finish off the matrices revision today with the May 2024 and Jan 2025 items, right? So let me do, hold on. One L inverse. All right, all right, man, I had one. She's the Jan 25 ones. Sorry, CPU. 12, what? CPU, give me one second. I'm gonna go back to the question, right? 1, 2k minus somebody 2, 3. That's what I did. That's what I did. CPU. See? 1, 2. Right. Miss Pretty, we do need Jan 2025 matrices question. We do need 2024 May 1st though, but don't worry, we'll get it, we'll get it. Right. Yo. Yeah. No. Yeah. The determinant. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, where's this damn thing? All right, let's try that again. Cool. Ah, yeah. Oh.
Nah, you were
Um, here what? We'll just enlarge them one at a time. How about that? Okay, cool. And then we'll put a little separator line in the middle just to show A. Right, so that is part A. That is part B. Okay, guys, we have the May 2024 item on the board. In the first case, the determinant of the matrix is 24. Calculate the value of V. And in the next case down there, we have the matrix product LM. Right. All right, cool. Is it true you could write it next 2 years free? Shakim, I had to double check that. I know that they changed something recently, but I can't remember. Suki, vectors might be in the next class, like 4 to 6. Beat PUE and mu, I'll go beat this too. All right. Jeju, right. Easy didn't come last year. All right, okay, okay, cool. All right. Ram Navindra, Jan paper 2 is easy. I'm glad you feel so, right? Not anymore. Right. Okay. So sorry, 444. You were talking about the paying 2 years free. Okay. I think you're entitled to one reset, one setting and one reset. I think that's what you're entitled to, and that's just CSEC. I'm not sure what keep. Keep is one setting. I don't think you get 2 for keep. Well, as in like each unit. It's 1 year free only. All right. Okay. Thanks. Whoever have a tall ladder.
Oh, that's Tino.
Is it tomorrow you're doing OA? I don't teach OA. Sorry. Tomorrow I off. I have one class tomorrow and I have some errands to run. This weekend I off too. I doing too many long days. Linear. I did linear. How do you pronounce that name? Abgamali. I don't know what to say. ABGMALY. What you're going to do is you're going to go on my channel as you're on right now. Check January for the linear programming and variants. Both of them was in January. If they're not, then let me know. It might just be the unlisted. I had to make them public. All right. Have any volunteers for this question? Not for this one? Why not? Oh, all right. When you finish. Yeah. There's no problem. Is it determinant? How do we find determinant? To find determinant, you have to multiply these two things. Hold on. Yeah. So you multiply these two things, and you minus the product of these two things, and you put that equal to 24. So how? You multiply them. 2V by 5 is 10V. Yeah. Minus 6, is that, yeah, that's 4V, and 24 divided by 4 will give us 6. Yeah? Sorry? Oh. Right. Liam Logan, Michael, just give me a quick G if you go with our first partner. Crystal Lake, 5 bearings on the channel. Cool. 1 minute. Right. Use the determinant formula substitute. Yeah, that's correct. Let me see. Content. Live. Yeah, Shivani. Let me see if it's there. 2025. 01. That's January. Math Form 5. Oh, that is what happened. You unlisted. All right, hold on. I see in trades, I see in bearings. All right, okay, one of the bearings question.
Yes. Bearings, yes.
All right. Okay.
So, yeah, Chris Bearings.
Did you buy food?
Right. Okay, so folks on the lives, whether it's TikTok or YouTube, I just made my bearings classes public. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only have 7 classes. Something weird. All right. You wanted linear programming too? All right. Okay. Let me see what's going on in February. Nah, in February we just went straight into particle questions. So January was the last one we did like syllabus work. What was your other one did? Hold on. Let's see. Hey guys, for the circle geometry, let me see if I can. Trig, circle geometry, circle geometry, circle geometry. Guys, that one might be a little more. I can't just give away everything for free. That's the problem. Transformation matrix. Nah, boy, I do that for a few years. Well, I just never get time to do it. All right. Oh, sorry. Let me get the question. I was doing the I was donating to all your cause.
Yeah. What two? Bro, into the yama burger. Your brother must have fries. Adam must have all the fries.
You were in the car with my brother?
No.
All right. Guys, we kind of loud. We settle down, all right? Jaziri come now, you start, yes? Pressure the dance. All right, yeah, guys, sorry about that. Yeah. Hey, Kichikawa, Ikawa, come boy. Kichika, Ikawa. Right, sorry. Right, so evaluate the product. Right, so 9, 5, 3, 2. Then multiplied by 2 and minus 4. All right, cool. Lays down to cry. All right, so let me see. So matrix multiplication. So row by column. So it's 9 by 2 and 5 by minus 4. So 9 by 2 plus 5 by minus 4. And then this row by this column. So it's 3 by 2 and then 2 by minus 4. So this 3 by this 2 and then this 2 by that minus 4. Yeah? Not these 2 and then these 2 multiplying together. This by this plus this by that. Right, so 9 by 2 is 18, 5 by minus 4 is minus 20. 3 by 2 is 6, 2 by 4 is minus 8. So that's not just -2, -2. All right, cool. All right. So that's that one. The other thing was hold on. All right. Same, right. Product. Pichika Ikawa. Right, cool. Right. Develop. That's not it's low carb price. Hey, what happened there? Something went wrong first. Skeleton, I'll try and work. I am if I can get that done. But I'll see if I could squeeze in a couple of questions like from last year before. All right, let's just do that Jan 2025 and call it well, not a day, but we'll take a break, right? Yo, that's on your screen right now. That's the date today. That's correct. All right, so I'll give you guys a few minutes to organize that. Better forget by tomorrow. Now, man, Chris. All right. They look easy when you do it. Well, I had doing this since 1996. So when I say as a student in Form 4, teacher-wise, right. Real like I never heard to say that. What's going on? Really, Ayla? Oh, Ayla. All right. Hey, Jordan, what's going on? I see you on the inside. I have no faith in POA after the CXE. Sorry, I have no faith in CXE after the POA. Ooh, are you that it upside down, inside down, and back to front? The eye silent. Ayla. Okay, cool. Hey, Jordan, what vibes? If you don't pass tomorrow, you're passing away. Now, go do that. Let's have life after exams. After the break, coach, man. I'm aiming for 4. But my aim seems to be very off. So anytime between 4.5 off. So, but check back from 4. Same. Yeah, exactly. Vamp. Yeah, a good vamp. Or Suki. Oh. Well, yeah, what to do, Suki? When you get your copy of the paper, give it to your brother. Tell them do it same speed. If you can get it one still, tell him you can bust that. Real after that POA. Yeah, POA. Yeah. SYG Cloudy, blessing everyone. Yeah, blessing you too. Inspirational. Yeah, man. Ichika Aikawa, yeah. You're cooked in Jamaica. Are you a beef party? Are you ackee and saltfish? Are you a bowl of bread? A festival. Oh, a festival, boy. What was the other one I heard recently, boy? Right, let me try this one here. Right, so when you're adding matrices, you're adding corresponding elements. So the 4 plus the x is the -3. Okay, let me try this. 4 plus x -3. So therefore, x should be equal to -3 minus 4. So x is -7. Right. Identifying the y, that's the front. So -2 plus 8 is y. Yeah, the corresponding elements, yeah. That's just 6. All right, cool. Okay, lovely. Madrid chicken, rice and peas. Better remember the syllabus for maths. Yeah, this girl, Brie. I hear you. I hear you. Marissa done work it already, boy. Ariel too, Velox too. Steady, steady. All right, cool. Yeah. People in Jamaica, see if I could find the man named Cutty Ranks and sick him on CXE. They know Cutty Ranks, by the way. I mean, I know that sounds kind of facetious, me ask, eh? Zaid, boy, look like Mr. B. Zaid, you see a 14-year-old score 100 runs of 35 balls in the cricket. You are far from 14, eh? He's 12 this year. You understand? Right? You understand? Yeah. So Zaid, you know what to do. Be 13. And you do it too, as well. Second part is multiplication, yeah. So you lost. All right, let me see if I can help IDK and Mike. Right, okay. Logan, Liam, and Michael, you're good with the first part, right? If not, let me know. I'll work it over. All right. R, okay. Right, so Michael, what's going on is we are adding the two matrices together, right? When you're adding matrices, you have to add what we call corresponding elements. By that, what I mean, so the 4 is in the top right, left position, and the X is in the top left. And when you add those together, you'll get the item in the top left down there. Well, across there, sorry, I should say. Right? So let me go again. Right. So let me actually shift a different weight because I'm zooming, right? So 4 plus X would be equal to minus 3. So to solve for X, you have to remove whatever's currently attached to the 4. Sorry, to the X. What's attached to the X is a 4, right? So you can write it as X plus 4 if you want, because addition is commutative. 2 plus 3, same as 3 plus 4. Yeah, man's eye, you're gone? All right, later. Right, that's equal to minus 3, right? But to solve for 4, you have to, well, as people like to say, move it to the next one. I have to say, you got to remove it. How do we? You all know I still teaching something, right? I still teaching, right? Yeah. Right? Right.
So sorry.
Well, we have 4 more hours to go, so best you kind of pull things together and regroup. Right. So how is the 4 attached? Addition. To remove something attached by addition, we need the opposite operation. The opposite of addition is subtraction. So what's going to happen is we are going to subtract 4 from both sides of the equation, because whatever happens on one side of an equation must happen on the next side to maintain equality, right? 4 minus 4 is 0, and X plus 0 is just X. Minus 3 minus 4 is minus 7, right? Or as teachers like to say, carry over the 4 and change it from plus to minus. Right. I don't like to say that, but that's right. Are you gonna miss your class? I miss all my classes every year, but for a very brief period of time, because as they go, our next class come one time. So I don't really have time to miss people, per se. Right, now we want to solve for the y. Now hold on, Mikkel, you okay with that first one? All right, cool. Yeah, well, the key used to shock me too. The wall shock you? Sound like a shocking experience, right? So bottom left, we have bottom left, right? So let me put it. So minus 2 plus 8 is equal to y. Now minus 2 plus 8 is the same as 8 minus 2. And 8 minus 2 is just 6, right? All right, so Michael, I hope that sorted out, right? Okay, I'm gonna scroll down now. Yeah, I can actually take that out. Okay, this one is multiplication, right? So what we had to do is we will first observe, right, that the A and the C are actually in the first column, right? So what that means is that when I multiply, I have to multiply this row by that column, right? But that's gonna give me this item here, right? Top row, first column. And when I multiply this by the column, I'm gonna get this item here. Right? If you're not sure, you can just multiply fully. Multiply and expand fully, and it should match up. It should. Right? So there we go. For which one? For this one? You're not adding. You're not adding.
Yeah, so negative 2. 5 by negative 2, which is
They're multiplying. When they multiply, have to multiply the whole row by the whole column. So it's 5 by A plus minus 3 by C. So 5 by A plus minus 3 by C. And that's going to be equal to minus 10. And then you have to multiply this item by the same column. And that's 2 by A plus 3 by C is equal to 17. Who would ask for the regular simultaneous? That was you, Jadon. Yeah, that's for regular simultaneous. Right, so check this. I'll multiply this row by this column and get the minus 10. Right? And I multiply this row by the same column, I got the 17. So they're working down there, right? Now, with elimination, what does eliminate mean? To get rid of. When you have linear equations, what does that mean? Where the only power to which any of the algebras is 1, that's linear, right? And we're not dividing by it. We're not multiplying them together, right? So we could change this to a minus, by the way, right? To eliminate either, well, I guess you could say x or y, or yeah, the coefficients have to be the same between the two equations, right? So what are the coefficients of 5 and 2? Sorry, what is the coefficient of A? 5 and 2. Right. Are they the same? No. What about the C's? 3. Right. One is a plus, one is a minus, right? So we have to know, okay, we're either going to add the equations together or subtract one from the next. To know, I use SSS. Same sign, subtract. Right. So if the 3's are the same sign, we will subtract the one equation from the next. Do they have the same sign? So we can't subtract. If we can't subtract, we have to add. Five A plus 2A is 7A. Minus 3C plus 3C is we have 0. Minus 10 plus 17 is just plain old 7. And if 7A plus 0 is equal to 7, what does that imply about the value of A? Correct. Now, what about the C? To solve for C now, we could substitute the value of A back inside of there, right? But here we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to work it if the coefficients are not the same. Right? Just for the sake of illustration, right? Because normally the most efficient thing to do is say, hey, look, if A is 1, just plug it here. Right? We will get 2 by 1 is 2. And then we'll subtract it 2, you get 17 minus 2 is 15. And if 3C is 15, C is 5, right? If you don't get a situation where the coefficients are the same, this is what you do, right? You have to make them the same. So you know, like when you're adding fractions, you get LCM, and what you might end up doing is multiplying each number next one, right? That's what you'll do here. So if you have a 5 here and a 2 here, you have to multiply this whole thing by 2, and this whole thing by 5. All right? You can't just scale up one item in the equation, right? That's not how it works. So let me go. 5A by 2 is 10A. Minus 3C by 2 is minus 6C. Minus 10 by 2 is minus 20. This one going by 5. 2 by 5 is 10A. 3 by 5 is 15C. And 17 by 5 is 85. Yeah. Now look here. The 10s are the same. Do they have the same sign? They're both positive. When you have the same sign here, subtract. 10A minus 10A is 0. Minus 6C minus 15C is minus 21C. Minus 20 minus 85 is minus 105. And to find C now, we'll divide both sides by minus 21. A minus divided by a minus is a plus, and 21 goes into 105 5 times. Yeah. Yeah, because it's minus 20 minus 85. It's subtracting equation 2 from equation 1, yeah. Or equation 4 from equation 3. Right. Oh, yeah, you get to go there. Steady, right, yeah. All right, folks, here what we're doing is basically 3:30, so we're going to take about a half an hour break now. But when we start back, what are we working? Vectors. All right, vectors and bearings. Cool. W. Right, hold on, that's now. Liam, Logan, and Michael, are we okay with the blue and the pink? If not, let me know. I have a few minutes, I'll rework it. But give me a G if you're good, give me an R if you want to rework it, right? Okay, cool. Yo. Right, so to solve for unknowns, you need at least as many equations as there are unknowns. If you have one unknown, one equation would suffice. If you have two unknowns, you need two equations. Or more, but two is the minimum. Yeah, so I multiply this whole equation by 2, I multiply here by 5. Yeah. Yeah. No, this is how it happened to work out here now. Right? But it's that normally with matrices, you might have a simultaneous inner matrix form to do. But here, you end up with a matrix that gave us a simultaneous instead. So it kind of went backwards. Right? Okay. All right. Chris, how you know when to add us? Right, so the signs. So you see like how here, it was a minus and a plus 3, right? So when, and like here, it was the tens were both positive, right? So when you have the same sign, you subtract the equation. If you do have the same sign, you can't subtract. And if you can't subtract, you have to add. Right? So across here, it wasn't the same sign, so we can't subtract, so therefore you had to add. Here, it was the same sign, so we were able to subtract. All right, Logan, hope that helps. Right, okay, right. Jordan, mean. Well, maybe a better for you than teacher in school, it could be. I mean, it's different environments, eh? Lux. Bro is him. I am Himothy. All right, different. Somebody say bro is him. I said, I am Himothy. All right. I appreciate that. Thanks very much for the compliment, G. All right, for real. Right, substitute is different. Yeah, sorry. I had taken a break and he pop up on TikTok. Well, Lord, make 35, pick me with 23, baby mother. Lord, you trying to outdo Ninja Man? Make 35, pick me with 23, baby mother. So what's the marks there? You're making, right, 23, and you have 12. So you're doubling up with some of them, or you're tripling up, or what's going on? You have a plan, or you just hitting 35? Why 23? You like prime numbers, or you're just a Michael Jordan fan? Huh? There was a song called Back in Black. Right, cool. Bearings, right, Avi. Okay, sorry, just checking. Comment. Right. Well, latest one. Yeah. I have somebody on the TikTok knife, and their name is Make 35 Pick Me with 23 Baby Mother. Real bad man. Real bad man. All right, guys, we out for about half an hour there, half an hour to 45. Check back at 4. Right, Liam, Logan, and Michael, check back at 4. Right, you will probably see the notification in the chat. Actually, hold on, Michael in the chat. All right, you have Kayla. Okay, you're coming. All right, cool. Right, well, Liam and Logan, you'll see notification. Right, okay, out for a little bit. Jordan, sleep is a good thing.